Make certain that we have some order, some discipline, and respect for the rules. And I violated that, and I'm apologizing for it. And I don't think apologies mean that this is a light matter. It's very serious. But corruption?
Yes, corruption, Representative Rangel. That's exactly what we think it is. Welcome back to Corruption in America, the Bowling Files. Today, the representative admitted on the floor, the House floor, that he violated the rules, but he insists it's not corruption. Is there really a difference between the two, or is this just another example of politicians gone wild? We have Representative Vito Fossella here. Mr. Rangel doesn't seem to know the difference between, let me hold it up, hiding assets. Where's my camera? Hiding. He hid assets, he hid income, and lots of sleazy stuff. He says, what corruption? What corruption?
Well, I think the congressman who I've had a good relationship with is going to get his day, so to speak, in court. And in a rare case in the U.S. House of Representatives, there'll be a trial. He's called for one. I've read that he was willing to take a deal, sort of equivalent of a plea, and that was rejected. So all of this will be provided. I think he deserves his day, if you will, in court. But I think it's a very tall hill to climb at this point, and whether he'll
Sliwa, what does he deserve? What does he deserve?
He should have impaled himself right there, little Harry Carey. Oh! You know, Japanese stuff.
Well, wait. I got a guy in this end who says leave the poor guy alone.
Well, leave him alone, but let's be honest about one thing. If Mr. Beau Dietl doesn't report his income, that's a thing called a little tax evasion there.
Yeah.
And there's other things there. When you have 4 apartments up in Harlem that were meant for the people to be subsidized, and you have them, you know, you got to answer for these things.
Well, where are you, Beau? Leave him alone or make him answer?
Well, I think he should answer.
Should he do time?
If you're found to have tax evasion, you have an opportunity to fall on the sword, like my friend Curtis says.
Eric, if a guy gets cold busted in the streets for holding you up for $5, he walks the perp line. All the reporters are there. Click, 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 click. These guys, they walk out the back door, the indictment is made, everything is nice. He's going to retire to his cabana at taxpayers' expense in a DR.
But he had no gun. There's no gun. You're talking about armed robbery.
It's our money.
It's our money, Curtis. It's our money. Curtis is right.
But it's a difference of putting a gun in
it's all right.
Maxine
We're getting to him in 1 second. Vito, what's he feeling right now? What's he going through?
You know, listen, Charlie Rangel has served this city for 40 years, served the country, served in the House. I know he loves what he does. I got to imagine he probably doesn't want to come to the end of his career like this. And it's not just a partisan thing, by the way. Many Democrats have urged him to resign. The Democrats in the state of New York, his colleagues, have urged him to resign. So I can only imagine someone who's so political. He loves the sport. I see the baseball bat here. He sees politics not just as a service, but as a pretty much a contact
Give me the
sport.
Rangel side on feelings, guys. Give me that Rangel side on feelings. Can we do that?
But for God's sake, just don't believe that I don't have feelings, that I don't have pride.
Got pride. Oh, I'm sorry.
don't have feelings. I
rough
don't
few
have
weeks.
pride. Charlie Rangel, give it up. Stop whining on the floor, Charlie. You're from New York. Be proud. He's got to just walk away now. But I'm telling you,
he's not
Elliot Spitzer, though. He's not Elliot Spitzer. I will contend.
Elliot was paying for his own pieces.
No, that was
What's
like
worse?
going across state
What's
lines.
worse? I think this is going to pay for your own.
Tax evasion, that alone is bad enough. But what? You got to get some rent-controlled apartments? This is like a major
Joe,
crime.
I can't believe you're doing
Income.
this. You're complaining about high taxes in New Jersey. That's what this is. This is extortion. These corrupt politicians are taking money, and then to make up for spending, they have to tax us more, no?
Eric, now that you have Charlie Rangel, right, the dean of the House, the guy who used to write the tax policy even though he didn't pay his taxes, and you have the SWA, sister with an attitude, Maxine Waters, you know what the defense is going to be. My complexion is my protection. Al Slim Shady Sharpton to the rescue. You cannot indict black men and women in the House. It's got to be even Stevens. Well, what about Duke Cunningham? What about the rest of those corrupt
By the way,
officials?
House Rule number 23, Clause 3 says you can't receive compensation by virtue of your influence. Miss Maxine, your special favors are influence. What about it, Congressman?
I think, you know, this is a function of a subcommittee in the Ethics Committee in Congress that found last year that she violated on 3 occasions. three elements of House rules and potentially
But
federal
I'm
law.
not worried about violating rules, Vito. I'm worried about these people
She was contacted by Bonnie Frank. Bonnie Frank told her she was doing very wrong what she did. Remember Bonnie Frank?
Wait,
He was the head of the banking
Piscopo did
committee.
the impressions.
He was the head of the banking committee. Even Bonnie Frank, the Fruit Loop from Massachusetts, was against
come on,
it.
guys. Now we're turning it. You can't just call a guy a Fruit Loop like that.
Oh, how do you say it?
No, I'm telling you, Max, what Maxine Waters did, that is the ultimate
Yeah, but
crime.
you know what
she
it
did.
is.
To call Hank Paul up,
You
to call
think-
the National Association
you
of Bankers,
think-
and to call, which is a minority, what you said,
You're
Curtis,
gonna, Joe, let me
that
just,
to
they
me
want us
is
to go. They
such
want
a
us to
more
go, but I
vile
have to
crime
ask
than
you this.
anything that
Maxine
that,
Waters
Rangel
asked
does.
the Treasury Department to help out a company that her husband
Hold
had
on,
stock
get
in.
her out of there.
Is worse than Charlie Rangel hiding assets, hiding income, writing tax law all the while and pretending he didn't know what was going on.
I hate it when you make sense.
The stock was $360,000, went down to $100,000. Then she said she's going to lose all this money. But what will happen?
What
We'll
happened?
get some
All right.
federal
Well,
funds.
you're next. We're
This
going to
is-
get you next, buddy.
This is Whitewater all over again. The Clintons said, we lost money.
We're-
Leave us alone. By the way, we're the reconciliary. It took you how many years to find the Rose Law records in the White House?
This is why we love
Curtis,
you
how do you
so
really
much.
feel,
We gotta
baby?
go. We have to